Hey, how's everybody doing? Gonna make a quick video here. Hopefully while everybody's still asleep. That's usually when I make my videos, early in the morning. So what's in front of me is usually what's in front of me, and I have to get it prepared beforehand, but let's get on with the video. And before you read the title of this is not going to be a caliber debate. I don't debate caliber, and I don't get into the caliber debate war, because if you're confident with what you're shooting, great, good for you. I don't care if you like SIG, 1911, Glock, whatever works for you, and if you're confident with it, then that's what you need to be carrying, regardless of anything else. But like a lot of people want to talk people into doing something that they saying that something's not enough, and that's what we're going to get into this video about. And this was basically based off a story where I was in my local gun shop. Yeah, one of my local gun shops, and this gentleman had come in, and he was looking at this Tech-9, and my dog's gonna decide to run around because I'm making this video. And well, let's get back to the story. This guy comes in, he looks at this Tech-9, and he asks the gentleman his price on it, and he goes, excuse me, mouth was a little dry there. He tells him his price and stuff like that. And he said, "Oh, it's chambered 9mm, right?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "So what am I going to do with that?" I said, "After 25 feet, 9mm ain't that good." He said, "You gotta have something like 45 or something like that, and 40 or something like that. That's the only way it's going to do anything. That's the only way it's going to bother anything, like 9mm is not good enough for self-defense." And if you watch enough of these YouTube videos, not mine included, because not a lot of people watch mine, but I appreciate the few that do. But if you look at most of the confident instructors and the well-named YouTube top YouTube pages, most of them carry 9mm, and 9mm, and there's nothing wrong with 9mm, and that's going to be the title of this video. There's nothing wrong with 9mm. And after, let's get back to the story before I go on this other contingency or contingent, whatever. Like I apologize, it's early in the morning, but the gentleman said 25 feet was all you could get with 9mm. And he just kept on and kept on until about, for at least a good 20 minutes, until finally I had to open my mouth, because I couldn't take no more. I said, well, a well-placed shot with a .22 LR will drop anything. And he said, "Yeah, I guess shot placement does count." I said, because I don't get in the pistol caliber debate, because getting shot sucks. And if you haven't been shot, I haven't been shot myself, don't want to be shot. But I don't see people wanting to call a certain round not sufficient enough, unless you're willing to line up and volunteer to be, test fired with it. Don't try to talk somebody into something they don't want or whatever. 9mm is sufficient carry ammunition if it wasn't. And if it wasn't, then people wouldn't say it was. So I think, don't let people try to tell you that 9mm, less effective than 40 or 45. I get so tired of hearing that, so that's the reason I'm making this video. And just, here's a box of Remington, and here's an FMJ or Full Metal Jacket, or Remington 115 grain, 9mm. FMJ, or ball ammunition, as military would say. And here's a I can't remember, this is Hornady. I can't remember if this is a jacketed hollow point. This is actually a 124 grain. You'll see the cavity there if you know much about hollow points. Just with 9mm, I recommend it. slow it down a little, because the 4 rules of firearms. Keep your finger off. Treat every firearm as if it's loaded. Do not put the muzzle in front of anything you wish not to kill or destroy or harm. Beware. Do not put your finger on the trigger until you're aware of your target. And 4th, beware of your target and what's beyond it. Don't need to tell a whole lot of people that, but it needs to be repeated sometimes. 9mm is a sufficient round for me. Or I trust my wife with it, and most people, anybody knows me, knows. I guess it's early in the morning, but my Glock 19 is right with me at all times. And yes, even at this early time in the morning, spare magazine. Until I decide. Until 98% of the time they're going to be with me. Let me get off my contingency here, though. But after, I got into this, altercation, well, after I, pretty much put in this place, stating that, well-placed shot, regardless of what you do, is gonna do what you need to do. And if you're comfortable with whatever you got, then that works fine. But don't let anybody tell you that a certain round is not capable of being useful for self-defense. A lot of people don't recommend, I wouldn't recommend. A lot of people say, 380 or below, or carry 22. If you're carrying something, you're carrying something, and that's what we're all wanting to do anymore. But this whole thing of 9mm not being sufficient has aggravated me, and so I decided, hey, I'm gonna make a video about it. Like I said, I don't get in the caliber debate wars because there's nobody lining up to want to take one of these rounds to prove it wrong. There's no use of debating what's better than what. I just don't believe. If you want to go to that 1% chance that you have to defend yourself, if you feel that you're capable of it, but yes, if you're excuse me, I'm sorry, like I said earlier in the morning, if it's, capable of defending your life, it's capable of defending your life, and I believe 9mm is fully capable of defending your life with. But after I made this gentleman a little angry, I skipped on the story here. After, he had no comeback for it. He had nothing else to say because he realized, I called him on it, and he basically got angry and left the gun store. Needless to say, because, I told him, with, modern ammunition, the gap between, 9 and 45 is, becoming, pretty close together, and another YouTuber had mentioned that, and I don't have to go into too much detail with that, but if you're a new shooter and you just started shooting and stuff, don't let nobody tell you, oh, you need to get a 40, because that's the only thing that's going to work. Get what you're comfortable with, and like I always tell people, go test fire. If you got a range, go to your range, or your local range in your city, state, wherever you're at, if you're able to, in the United States, or wherever you're at, and test fire. Rent the firearm, shoot it. Make sure you're comfortable with it. I don't care about the manufacturers of what you're carrying or none of that. I don't even care about the debate of caliber. I believe whatever you believe is sufficient and works for you. Like I said, I don't recommend, nobody recommends me put this back because I don't want to be held liable for anything I say. I'm just saying that, competent instructors will tell you that, carry 9mm or above for self-defense. But, if you're carrying, and that's great. Appreciate everybody that does carry. In the pro-Second Amendment, we need to be sticking together and doing more for this. But like I said, don't let anybody tell you there's nothing wrong with it. 9mm is a sufficient round. A lot of the U.S. Army is still carrying it. I think they may be going back to the 45. Don't quote me on that. I heard that, but they are at the time carrying 9mm. A lot of law enforcement carry 9mm. Some have switched over to 40 and stuff like that. But that doesn't pertain to you. You know, that doesn't have nothing to do with you. Like I said when I was stating in another video, there's many variables and stuff that go into all this. But don't let anybody try to sell you anything. You need to find what works for you, and you know what you can manage and equal, and you know, get out, train, take a class. You know, go do some practicing. Besides practice, you know, there's a difference between practice and training. But get training, get practice. You know, come comfortable with your carry arm or your carry firearm and what you got. But there's nothing wrong with 9mm. So I don't know where this myth came from. The 9mm is just, you know, not sufficient. You know, so don't believe the hype. Don't believe that 9mm. This is mostly for new shooters, but don't believe that 9mm. You know, just gonna hit somebody and fall off after you know 7 yards, you know, and it's ridiculous and it's asinine, and most of the time you hear these people telling that, you know, they just stuck in, you know, what they like to carry, and like I said, I don't care what you carry, you know, if you're carrying something and you like it, then that's great, and if you're sufficient enough with it, then that's great too. If you can hit what you want to hit with it, and you got good shot placement, that's all that matters. So until next time, y'all, this is Dwayne. We'll see you.